We still continue our coverage of COP27 here on Nile TV International. Exclusive interviews as the sessions are still going on, and we're bringing you here the beat from Sharm. It was an honor and pleasure meeting His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Hegazy, former assistant to the foreign minister, here at COP to know more about his impressions and the messages that Egypt is delivering at COP27. Your Excellency, great seeing you here at COP27.
Thank you very much, Taghreed. Always my pleasure.
My pleasure and honor. Talking about such a huge event that definitely contributes to brand Egypt globally, there are many messages that the mother of the world sends through COP27.
I agree with you. Indeed, Taghreed, Egypt today represents itself, as it always done, as one of the responsible international community members in confronting challenges. Being it illegal immigration, Egypt was in the forefront. Being it terrorism, Egypt was on the forefront. And in the international agenda to confront one of the most important challenges, which is climate change, Egypt also stood firm in the forefront. It means that a country like Egypt, responsible for carrying its responsibility and playing its lawful role in facing the challenge and in supporting the international agenda, not only in hosting the event, but also in introducing ideas and initiatives. Electing Ambassador Minister Sameh Shukri today as head of this COP27 is also another manifestation of the trust the world community is adhering and bestow on Egypt. Because Egypt in this very important gathering is representing the agenda of the third world, of Africa, of the, what I call it personally, the climate justice. Climate justice required that the first world who polluted, who caused the trouble all over because of the policies or irresponsible policies towards climate, has to carry its responsibility and adhere to its commitment. So today when Egypt represents Africa, is calling the international community to adhere to its commitments, because we are facing a problem that is not really carrying its implications on one country, yes, or one region, or one continent. It carries its impact on the whole planet, and yes, we have to safeguard our planet, and that will not happen unless we are together in confronting the challenge, first world and third world. And I'm sure that what will come from today's gathering is that in Sharm el-Sheikh will call the international community to implement and accept its commitment towards supporting and financing the strategies that will allow Africa and the third world to carry on their responsibility. Although we are less polluted, only 4% is caused by Africa and the third world, in confrontation to a huge imbalance kind of pollution coming from the first world.
Yes.
So their time has come to carry their responsibility. It's a shared responsibility. Egypt, though it is one of the least polluting country and in the countries that is carrying its responsibilities toward the emissions through, as you may have followed last week, one of the most important gathering for Egyptian projects, smart and green, that is to be implemented because of sustainability to development, has to carry the nemesis of climate consciousness.
Yes, as Your Excellency has mentioned that Africa is pinning high hopes on COP27, Egypt is going to speak the voice of Africa and also discuss the hazards and the challenges before Africa vis-a-vis climate change. What are we expecting from COP27 vis-a-vis the African challenges?
I think more adherence from the first world to adaptation and mitigation, like 50% in financing each. Also, the introduction of the business community through their projects that will respect the environment. As you may have seen now, the city of Sharm el-Sheikh is giving us an example a wonderful example of how urbanization has also to understand the environmental aspects. Sharm represents a city that respects all elements of climate or elements of environment adaptation. You can also refer to the Egyptian drive towards new urbanization, new modern and smart cities, the new capital cities, 7,000 kilometers of road. All that is environment-friendly projects. Adding to that, I think one of the most important projects which is Haya Karima, improving the livelihood, the infrastructure, the education, the health of 58 million Egyptians means that we are environmental conscious, socially conscious. And I'm sure that what we are presenting today, the many initiatives that Egypt is carrying to the world community will show how responsible our country is, how Egypt can really help the international agenda. And as today we are talking about Egypt's role in front of one of the planet challenge, which is climate change. It will call for climate justice, and it will move maybe in 2024 to the Urban Forum, which will carry in the World Urban Forum 2024 in Cairo, will carry the same message of an urbanization friendly to the environment. Our role is here to stay, and it is here to represent Africa and the third world.
Yes, definitely. From vision to implementation, a very important slogan, because it's high time through our sense of togetherness that we move on to an action plan, all hands on vis-a-vis climate change. It's a huge event that actually contributes also to brand Egypt globally, as Your Excellency has mentioned, vis-a-vis charming Sharm and going green right now. So how do you think from the eyes of an expert and also media-wise, such events branding?
I think the gathering in itself is a world voice towards Egypt, its stability, the trust they have in Egypt, ability to carry a huge responsibility representing the third world and Africa in one of the most challenging parts, which is the environmental challenge. And Egypt is capable not only to organize or to host, nobody has any doubt on that, but also to introduce solutions and initiatives that can really make the change, and above all representing its community and constituency the proper way it's supposed to be done. Egypt is an integral part, as I said, of the solution of many challenges that we face, like terrorism and illegal immigration. And today Egypt is also facing with its African and third world brothers the viewpoint, a reflection of the viewpoint of those parties to the international agenda, and its voice is to be here, to be heard by the first world. And I think the challenge that we can carry on implementing and asking the others to adhere to their commitments.
Yes, we are talking here commitments from Egypt. We're talking providing solutions on the table, and this is very important, translating theories into action. Talking about the recommendations that will be expectedly coming out of Cop27 and a mechanism of a follow-up, because a follow-up, what's next, is always very important.
I think from Sharm el-Sheikh to Dubai next year to the United Arab Emirates COP28, there is a lot to be done. What is important is that we have to follow up on the recommendation and the outcome since Glasgow and the declaration of Glasgow till Sharm el-Sheikh declaration and further. We have to inform everybody that there is shared responsibility, there is environmental justice that has to ask the first world to carry its responsibility in not only taking measures to reduce emission, but also to help the third world carrying the strategies and implement, which is the key word, implement, and that will not happen unless the third world is receiving the lawful support and the financial justice that we are calling. Environmental justice is key, and I'm sure that the third world will get from Sharm el-Sheikh and Africa what it deserves.
Yes, definitely, Your Excellency. Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Hegazy, former assistant to the Foreign Minister, thank you so much for joining us exclusively as we speak at COP27.
Always my pleasure.
Thank you, and we're really looking forward to implementation, because this is the key word, action taking place on solid grounds. And with this sense of togetherness, definitely there is going to be a difference made. We together will make the difference. You're still following up the beat from Sharm here on Nile TV International, and exclusive interviews that we are bringing you from Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt on the occasion. Stay tuned.